What's the best place to pinch to get great pinch harmonics? Well, we went through this a couple of live sessions ago, so hopefully you go back and watch that. But basically all you want to do is you just want to get used to turning the guitar pick. That's all I'm doing is turning the pick and touching the string with my thumb. When I'm done picking, the thumb touches at the end and causes the harmonic. And usually, you're going to get them somewhere around the middle position pickup to the middle of the neck pickup are going to be the most prominent ones. So hopefully that kind of helps. What kind of guitar? This is an Ibanez Gem. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but that is what this is an Ibanez Gem. Let's see here. Tony says, I'm subscribed to Elevated Jam Tracks on YouTube. Great backing tracks. You are absolutely right. I love those guys. They do really great work. You are one of the best guitar teachers. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. And it really is. Thank you. I'm not always good with compliments, but I really do appreciate that I'm able to help people. Speed or melody, which is most important during a solo? For me, a little bit of both. You gotta have melody. You don't always have to have speed. You gotta have melody, but it depends. If you're playing a Slayer tune, you don't really need a melody, right? I mean, it depends on the style of music. But if we're talking just, epic songs with great solos, I think you need both. Melody connects to the music. Speed creates energy. And people forget that. It's not just about, trying to be a virtuoso, as somebody had said earlier, or something like that. It's about dynamics. And if you've ever heard me talk about this, I always talk about dynamic contrast. If you did something slow, you got to do something fast. If you did something high up on the fretboard, do something lower. If you played a lot, stop playing for a little while, right? If you played pentatonic, move into diatonic. If you can contrast, you can keep it interesting for you and for the listener. And that doesn't mean like every tenth of a second. It just means, in general, if you keep trying to change things up, it just makes it more interesting. And there's no doubt that speed adds energy. Like if my entire solo was going, let's take it to the opposite extreme. If you played, because people sometimes will say, well, slow is better than fast. Well, then why not play one note every 16 measures, right? And nobody would do that for every solo that you do. You would play faster. So all we're doing is putting a limit on what is fast. If we're doing whole notes for the entire solo for everything we ever do, it's going to get old after a while. You'd want to play half notes or quarter notes. Heck, you might want to do some eighth notes, right? So, we have to be careful with that. Is it possible to play too fast, too much? Sure, for some people. For some people, no. That's why, again, I always try and remind people that we don't want to force our thoughts on somebody else's playing journey because we don't know what they want. I don't know what everybody else wants. I just know what I like, and that's what I want to play. And if somebody likes it, great. And if somebody else doesn't like it, that's fine. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm cool just being me, right? And that's what I want you to do too. But, every cool solo, in my opinion, has an ebb and flow, okay? And that includes slow and fast versus melody versus whatever. So, okay. Jason says, it's my excuse for not being able to play that quickly. Yeah. And it's, again, we live in a world now where we base talent on how fast somebody can play or something like that, where if you go back 30 years ago, it wasn't really like that. And I think, again, there's players that are coming out now that redefine some of those things. I'm just telling you all, don't get locked into these terms. Just do what you do the best way you do, as best you can do, the way you want to do it, and be happy with it. You know what I mean? Because everybody's different. There's probably somebody out here right now, on all these people that are here, that is a huge B.B. King fan, and somebody else is a huge Billy Gibbons fan, and somebody else is a huge Yngwie Malmsteen fan, and somebody else is a huge Mateo Sasato fan, or whatever it might be. There's just lots of really great players out there. So, and I love them all. They all just meld together, and I utilize what I can in my playing from their stuff. Some of it I can use, some of it I can't, but I try and grab from anybody, anywhere. Okay.